This week I received an email from a subscriber asking how I put together my tab videos. So I thought me explaining that would make a good video, so big shout out to Peter and thank you for the video idea. So my process has definitely become more refined since I did my first tab video. So I'm going to talk you through the entire process, the transcription. So I use MuseScore to create the notation. You can either use Sibelius, Finale or Guitar Pro, but MuseScore is 100% free and it just keeps getting better and better as it receives frequent fixes and updates. I transcribe the song to the best of my ability using the notation, as I found this is far easier to work with than tab. So here's my first big tip. Once the notation is complete, I then copy and paste it into the tab and it automatically creates the tab. You then just need to go through it and change the fret number to the place that you prefer to play it. On the Mac, this is Command and the up and down arrow. On Windows, I believe it's the Control and up and down arrows. Step 2, rehearse the song. I usually spend about a week getting the song to a presentation standard. If the song has many sections or constantly evolving parts, then it might take a bit longer. Once I can play it all the way through without making any mistakes, I then move to the next stage. Step 3, recording the audio and visual. For the backing track, if I can find the original individual tracks, I'll put it together minus the bass, or I might use a backing track if I can find a decent one. Failing that, I will use the original track but just EQ out the bass using Logic. I then start recording myself 3 times at 3 different angles. There are 3 reasons for this. Number 1, I will have 3 different recordings so I can select the best bits and stitch them together. Number 2, more camera angles create more visual interest and hopefully keep the viewer watching for longer, therefore the algorithm is happy. And number 3, I can get close-ups of any difficult parts. Step 4, mixing the sound. I am by no means a skilled sound engineer, but I know enough about Logic to get a fairly decent sound. As I mentioned, I will use a combination of all 3 takes. If there's something I'm unhappy with, I will do a quick overdub. I use the DI on my amp, going into the interface, and then I add any effects after. I usually add compression and sometimes some overdrive. Step 5, editing the video. I use Final Cut Pro to edit the videos. Firstly, I import the sound as an XML file and sync up all 3 tracks. I then cut up the tracks to show different angles. I don't really have a system here, I just do what feels right. I then head back to MuseScore. Here's a really big tip that has made a world of difference for me. Go to Continuous View, and this puts it all in a straight line, which makes it way easier to edit. Then I go to QuickTime Player, go to File, click New Screen Recording, crop the screen, hit record, and let it play all the way through. Then import the screen recording into Final Cut, move it into position and crop. On very few occasions has this ever lined up first time with the video. So what you may have to do is speed up or slow down the track and get it to as close as possible. What I'd recommend is just having it so it's a little bit faster than the track and then just add in freeze frames to slow it down for nanoseconds. Nobody will notice this. If the band have recorded to a metronome, this might line up first time, especially with the older recordings, they haven't played to a metronome, so this will take a little bit of extra editing. Another tip is to add a shape mask. This just gives it an extra bit of aesthetic goodness. So maybe you've got some tips for me. If so, leave them in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe, and now check out one of these videos.